guys, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 2 of our Timberborn playthrough. If you guys are new to the series, definitely check out episode 1. If you're a returning viewer, really excited to have you back. If you're new to the channel, really excited to have you as well. So let's go ahead and get into episode 2. We are in a drought. We've got about 1.5 days left. We got plenty of water, although we do have this pump operational just to make sure that we make it through the wet or the dry season. That'll be okay though. So a couple things that we're going to work on as we start it out. Let's go ahead and get into 3 times speed. We really want to get some gear production up and running to allow us to continue some of our projects. So let's go ahead and unlock that gear workshop. We'll get that put in there, and then we will get some gears produced as well. That'll be good. Allow us to kind of expand a little bit into some of our alternate our alternate tech, but we're going to need planks for that, so that's not going to get built until the next water season, so we can get those water wheels operational. Another thing I want to do is I want to make our way over here, get this area cleared out so that we can start to flood this, because I think that would be a really good source of water. So one thing that we're going to definitely do is we are going to get a little platform over here, and then I think we'll also throw a platform in here so that we can just get some stairs up there, so the path will kind of run like that. And then I think we're going to end up getting up here somehow, and I think it's going to require some of these taller platforms, just because, yeah, I mean, I could do it with stacks. And what I mean by stacks is I could just stack stuff like that. But I don't think we really want to do that. I think we want stuff to look nice. Obviously. And speaking of nice, we definitely need a shrub right in there. And that should get built right away. We've got plenty of logs. Plenty of logs. And we've got a ton of stuff that needs planks. So that is something that we will have to figure out. So let's get these pumps operational, make sure that we max out our water, and then we can come back and pause them if we get to the point where we've got too much water. But anyway, I think we're doing good. We've got 3 vacancies for houses, which is good. And then we are going to add in another house right here. So let's see, we need this house, but we need to flip it so that the door is on the other side. So we can get another house in right there, and that'll be good. That should be good. Our food is looking good. We've got tons of carrots, and we've got doing decent on potatoes. Might want to open up another potato farm, but I do think we want to get more beavers in there actually farming the potatoes. I think that would be good. It does only leave 1 on the science, but that's okay. Let's get the gear workshop operational first. Although, I actually let's get those stairs done. That would be good. Get the stairs done. That way we can come in here and we can delete all of this. Just so that we can flood this area, get a little bit more water stored up. That'll be good. And then we can actually go ahead and put in another bridge here. Not super necessary, but figure might as well. Might as well kind of enjoy the continuity of having a bridge in here, as well as this one here and this one here. Things that we just can't afford. And then we are going to make our way over here so that we can get over here to actually bridge that off. That would be good. There's a staircase there, but I don't think we're going to use it. I would honestly love to get rid of that tree so that I could put some platforms in there. So why don't we actually mark that for demolition? Get rid of that tree, just so that I can come over here and square this corner. And let's see, that's 200 science for the triple. I think a triple is what we need, which is too bad because we don't have any any science going right now. I think we can afford to pause one of these water pumps for now. Our water is climbing pretty quickly. So I do think that is something that we could do. And let's see, we've got grilled potatoes and carrots. Carrots are doing pretty good. Not great, but they're doing okay. We might need another farmhouse, honestly, just to keep pace, but we'll see. We'll see how we do. And honestly, another storage for grilled potatoes would probably not be a bad idea either. So let's go ahead and get one of those in for grilled potatoes. And then if we go into our district management, a hauling post would be really nice. Really not super necessary at this point. We don't really have the workers for it, but I do think not a bad idea to just kind of get ahead of the game here. And we'll just go ahead, we'll go medium low priority. Actually, we'll go bottom tier priority. And let's see, do I want my builders? I'm going to put the builders at a medium priority, and I'm going to put the science at the medium low. So we're going to kind of adjust this a little bit. So now the haulers are dead last in the performance, and the builders are kind of moderate. And we'll bump these up to medium high priority. These can stay at neutral. I think that's a good good spread. But okay, I'd love to get a little bridge in here, kind of like that. That would be good. And then I'm actually going to come in here and I'm going to delete these stairs once those beavers get in. Would love it if they would come over and pick up that plank or that log, although I actually don't think we have storage for it, so I'll just go ahead and delete that. That'll be fine. And now let's do some prioritizing. This house is actually going to be a pretty high priority, just so we can continue to expand our beaver population. Hauling post will be completely last. That can be moderate. This is really not important. That's a little bit more important than completely not important, but you know, we'll get there eventually. And then I would love it if they would get this built, but again, we are just struggling so hard on gears, but that's okay. And we actually aren't making enough power, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm gonna pause the gear workshop just because we don't have anything that needs gears just quite yet. We are going to unlock that second level of platform. And let's see, how do I want to do this? So I could go up one here and then go up again. So I could do some stairs like this, and then go stairs here. Actually, no, I could just go stairs like that. Yeah, that will work. And we'll get that connected up. And that will be our way to kind of get over to this point that we want to dam from this side. And we're actually going to want to go right across, like right there. And we are going to use floodgates here, so that will be good. And then, you know what? Probably going to utilize this existing bridge just as a way to get over there and clear the resources that are going to get flooded. So that'll be good. And that's going to take forever to build just because we have no planks, which is not great. We do have an unemployed beaver, so let's go ahead and max out both of these farmhouses. That'll be good. And then honestly, we could probably get the other grill opened up so we can just get more grilled potatoes. That'll be good. So our science should be rocking and rolling now. Our water is doing great. And one thing that we really want to do with our water, I would love to get this medium tank. So the medium tank is kind of a huge improvement over the small tank. It's more resource intensive, obviously. We can go ahead and obviously get a shrub in there. But this medium tank is going to be able to hold 300 water as opposed to the small tank that just holds 30. So it's essentially 10 of the small tanks in a 2x2 space, so covering 4 squares. So it's a huge advantage, but it is more resource intensive. It requires gears, it requires planks, two things that we don't have. So that's going to take quite a while to actually get built. But hey, we got that house done. So that's actually really nice. That is huge. But okay, so let's go ahead. Let's bring a path over here. And then we are going to put in a platform there. And then this path is going to continue around here. And then let's see. So we need to get right there. I could waste my time kind of building platforms over there, but I think just for now, just to conserve resources, we're just going to do that, because getting platforms like straight over there so it lined up nicely, I'd have to come over here and remove those trees. It would just be a total hassle. But you know, maybe we'll do that in the future. I do think we are going to want a second farmhouse here. I don't know, we can always go ahead and delete it later on, but might as well get that in. I am going to put that on a fairly low priority. Just because it's not, it's not super necessary right now. You know what? Let's just go ahead and get those stairs built. Just so that if we do need it, we can just flip it on. But we will keep it paused for now. Unless we get to the point where we just have tons of, unemployed beavers. Speaking of unemployed beavers, we are starting to get a few. So why don't we actually bring the hauling post online so that we can start to get those beavers working? Wouldn't be a terrible idea. To get some haulers. And we'll go with, maybe 4 for now. Not a bad number. I think that would be good. But okay, do we have enough science? No, the triple platform is going to be 200 science. We should get there pretty quickly. But and why don't we just go ahead and get those beavers employed for now in the other farmhouse? That should be good. And our grilled potatoes are doing great. 600 grilled potatoes. That is just huge. That is exactly what we want. And I really want to start unlocking these roofs, but it's just not. We do not need to be spending our precious science on roof pieces right now. That is definitely not what we need to be doing. Definitely not what we need to be doing. I am taking a look at this right here and wondering if I want to expand the power. I just don't know if this is going to be like a permanent industrial site. I'm kind of envisioning this as very temporary. Maybe we'll have some industry over here, but this is all like really good plantable ground. Maybe what we'll do is I'm kind of thinking like up here could be industry. It's just a question of how do we get the power up there. At some point we'll definitely get windmills, but I mean, like, small windmill is 120 science. That's not bad. We could do that. 150 power, same as the water wheel. Actually, a little bit more than the water wheel. And then the large windmill's 300 power, but that's 1.4K of science. It's a lot. Yeah, I'm thinking the small windmill would be a good start. So we could kind of move our industry up here, get it out of the plantable area. Or even put some industry in here. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure quite yet. But we will we'll see. We'll see how we can make this work. I'm kind of thinking this area would be a pretty nice spot. So let's see. Why don't we take advantage of these stairs? And then we can actually go ahead and get a couple lumberjacks up here to just start to clear this area. So we can just kind of come up here, start to get this area cleared out. That'll be good. But now we do have a ton of vacancies. Although I guess not. 4 of them are haulers. So we really only have 3. If that makes sense. I mean, technically we do have 7, but with 4 of them being haulers, it's really not that big of a deal. But okay, so this path is just about done. And let's go ahead and just make sure that all of this is marked accordingly. So that'll be our medium high priority. We can always jump over it with a high priority build if we need it. But for now, I think that that'll be good. Getting that done. And then once these are done, we're just going to go ahead and delete them, obviously. I'm just using them to kind of clear this space and get it ready for some industry. But okay, we've got the necessary science. So we can go ahead and get a triple platform in there. And I would love for that to be built first, because that will get us over here. And now if we go into water, we are going to need the triple floodgate, which is going to be 500 science, which is a lot. That is a lot of science. But we're going to pause this lumberjack. This last one can handle these last few trees, get those cleared up, and then we'll just delete all that and just get this area ready for some industry. And then we are going to need to figure out, I think we're going to need a row of levees over here. And honestly, it might be better. I think the move is actually to throw some stairs down here. And then a path over here. Yeah, and then do something like that. Yeah. Get a path over here. And then what I think I'm actually going to have to do so that we don't get overflow, and then also just because I think it's going to look cool, is I'm actually going to delete these 3 trees. And we'll have to see if this path is actually close enough to accomplish that task. We will see. Because I would love it if they would be able to just reach up and demolish those. I'm not sure if they can. We might need a set of stairs right here for them to get up. But we'll see. We will see. And he's not going to be able to delete those. So what we're going to do is we're just going to mark those for demolition. Just get rid of those. We have plenty of resources. All right. Are these reachable? No, they are not. All right. So with that being the case, we're just going to throw a quick set of stairs up here just so that they can reach those trees and get rid of them. Just because I think that would be nice. And then honestly, it might be nice to square this off a little bit with platforms. I don't know why, but I do think it would be. It would be nice to do that. Let's go ahead and pause. We'll leave 1 water pump operational just to kind of keep us kind of topped off as we go. But you know what? While we have that path there, I'm going to delete these trees. And then I'm going to delete these trees as well. Just so that I can get platforms in here and kind of square off this corner. Something like that. And that. And that. Really not necessary. This is going to be the lowest of priorities. But I do think it would be nice. And then they should be able to reach that once I get these stairs in. We're not going to be able to get the stairs in because we don't have any planks, which is outstanding. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to take a quick break, and I'm going to come back to you guys once we have a few more planks and we have a little bit more to do. All right, so I'll see you guys in a few. All right, and we are back. So we've gotten all of our little building projects done. We've also got a decent stockpile of planks and some gears coming along. We got our medium water tank built and our little platforms over here. So let's, we got some of these trees cleared out. So let's start working. We'll go into triple speed here. And let's start working on kind of what I was thinking that we would do. Something along these lines. Like that. And you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, we are going to shift this. Let's delete this rubble. We got plenty of logs. So we are actually going to do something like this. So there we go. So now this is what's going to be built. We can go ahead and delete this as well. And this will be our, I don't know what you want to call it, but this is what it's going to be. And then I think we're going to need some platforms in here to be able to get across here. Mine as well, right? Mine as well have a little way to get across here. That looks nice. So we'll get that set up. And this will kind of be the the way that we're gonna get this thing built. And then, because we have the science, we can go ahead and get the triple floodgate unlocked. And those are going to go there. So the priority for this build, interestingly enough, is going to be to get these levees done. And then I think after that, we will go ahead and get the actual floodgate mechanisms done. And then from there, we'll go ahead and get this structure here on the back, this bridge, done. But that should save us a ton of water. Although one thing that I did just think about is we should probably get these trees cut down. So let's get all of these marked to be cut. And then I would also love to get rid of these shrubs. So let's also mark all of these for demolition, just because I don't want them underneath the water. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to prioritize getting rid of all this as well as getting these built. And then we're going to put in a couple temporary log storages that can get filled. And once these are operational, we'll actually pause these so that they actually come over here and work on this stuff. But okay. Another thing that we should do is consider expanding our housing to allow our beavers to continue to grow. So why don't we go ahead and do that? And what we can actually do is we could do something like this. So we could get some housing in like that, and then we could actually get one of the single houses, if we just go ahead and unlock that, could actually sneak one of those in there. And that, I think, is a good idea. Gives us a little space for some decorations. And what I think we'll do is we'll put this housing complex, if you want to call it that, we'll put that on a medium priority. And you know what? Let's get those built. And now we can actually go ahead and pause these because we don't need those operational. We do have quite a few vacancies. Looks like all of our haulers and all of our science posts, but that's okay. It's because we've got these woodcutters operational over here. And then why don't we just go ahead and get those connected up? Just to shorten up the path a little bit to the wood. But okay, so we've got our little overspill levees right here, which is good. So why don't we go ahead and mark this bottom row of levees? Actually, you know what? That's not necessary. What is necessary is making sure that we get all of these resources out of here. So we will get all of these marked, get all of those all of those berries taken out of there. So we don't want any of that at the bottom of our new water storage. These logs, though, these are oaks. These are going to be hugely valuable. Don't want to let those go to waste. So we will get all of those cut down. And awesome, our medium water tank is full. So we can go ahead and pause. Honestly, we could probably get away with pausing all of them. I think we're just going to pause 3 for now. I think that'll be good. And we need to get our housing hooked up so that we are good to go. But all right, ooh, a 6-day drought. That's actually fairly significant. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna go ahead and unlock the builder's hut. We don't need it right now, but I am just gonna go ahead and put it there, just for the time being. No real reason other than that I want to make sure that I reserve that space. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to get a little water storage area set up over here for the future. And we'll just make sure that those get built in a fairly timely manner. I am going to put the builder's hut on the lowest priority just because we don't actually have the beavers to man it. It will be valuable at some point, but not now. And then getting the water storage expanded will be good, especially if we're getting into the point where we've got these extended drought periods. But okay. I think we are now in the spot where we can focus on this project here. And we do have a ton of gears and planks, so we should be able to get some of these done. Although we are going to eat up a fairly significant amount of our planks here. So why don't we go to 2.9 on the floodgates? That'll be pretty high. Maybe 2.8. And I think that'll be good. That should allow us to flood pretty much this whole area. And again, this whole thing is banking on the fact that this is like an invisible wall. If it's not, we're going to have huge problems, but I'm really confident that it is. So we will have to see. And then, I completely forgot about this. Obviously, I am recording this video before episode 1 is out, because we still don't have a district name. So if anybody has a district name and you guys want to shout it out in the comments, obviously that is still up for grabs. Though it might not be by the time this video comes out. Who knows? Who knows? But okay, 3 days left in the drought. Our housing has been thoroughly expanded. We've got 7 baby beavers on the way, but still 16 vacancies, which is pretty significant. Would love to get those vacancies filled, or 16 housing vacancies, that is, 16 free beds. But okay, this is coming along great. Really great, actually. We have plenty of resources, so really not an issue. And we're chewing through these logs, which is great. We've got this whole area marked to be cut, which is perfect. And then I think our next big project, once we get this sealed off, is actually going to be moving our industrial area. After we get some water pumps up here. I actually just thought of that. Getting a couple water pumps up here would be very nice. And having them be able to reach into this deep point would be pretty exceptional. Not sure. That would take a lot of platforms, because we would essentially have to do something like that and put the water pump there. And then I wonder, actually, can it go all the way down? Maximum depth 2. Yeah, no. Do they have a deep water pump? Is that a thing? Large water pump with a maximum depth of 4. But we can't do that yet. So there's really no advantage to doing it that way. So I think we're better off just putting the pumps in over here. That being said, I am going to square this off, obviously, because I just love to waste resources. And then, yeah, that would actually work. So we could do something like that. Not the most, yeah, it's actually fairly efficient. Because then we can squeeze one more in there once we platform that whole thing off. But that is going to be not a priority. Not a priority at all, frankly. Because I want to get this built. In fact, those are now the highest priority. Although I actually am going to open them all up, because I don't want to start to flood this until we've gotten all of these trees removed. So we do need to make sure that we get all these trees removed. And then honestly, I might have the builders come out here and remove the stumps. Although, you know, I can actually just remove the stumps with paths. As dumb as that sounds. And then just delete the paths. I mean, that, you know, that technically works. So maybe that's what we'll do. And then coming over here and clearing up this whole mess is going to be something that we want to do as well. Let's get rid of those stumps. Pretty unsightly. As well as those. It's totally unnecessary, but, you know, if we've got builders that have nothing to do, might as well. Ah, we are out of planks. That's why we have builders with nothing to do. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the gear workshop, because we don't want to be wasting our planks on gears. Not quite yet, anyway. We really want to focus on planks. And somehow we just got 10 planks. I don't know where those came from, but somehow we got them, so might as well use them if we got them. But okay, I actually might honestly need another log storage up here. I feel like this is gonna max out, so why don't we get another one? This isn't laid out particularly efficiently, but it'll work. It'll work for now. Let's get that built. And then I would love to get to the point where we just get rid of these water pumps and then we solely pump from up here, because there is going to be a ton of water here. We should be able to pump throughout the drought, which is good, especially once we get my favorite for people who have watched my previous series, dynamite, and just do unlimited amounts of dynamiting. That is going to be essential. Absolutely essential. But okay, so we are churning out the planks at a fairly decent rate. It is going to take us a while. How many do we need? We need 9 more planks to get that done. And hopefully they are focusing on this over anything else with regard to planks. They can do whatever they want with logs, because we got plenty of logs. And honestly, that's not the plank beavers are having to go so far to get these logs because we have emptied this out. So I am going to go ahead and get at least one of these operational. This is almost done, which is going to be good. I do want to, you know what? Just start. They can start to clear this out. And then once this is all clear, hopefully this is done. Yep, only one more plank, and then we should be good to go. Should have one more plank somewhere. Is that our beaver with a plank? It is. Exceptional. So then once this is all done, we can actually start to flood this, which will be really good. You know what? I'm just going to help them out. Let's just get rid of all of these with completely useless paths. But this is a lot faster than having beavers come out here and do this themselves, and then we'll just delete the paths once they're done. And they are so close to getting all those cut. And we do have our first water pump up here, not doing anything because there's no water there for him to pump. But it is quite exciting, though. We are getting there. We are getting there. Oh, and our water is actually declining fairly aggressively. So why don't we get those pumps back online? And let's see, can we get all these cut today? I don't know. I don't think so. That is okay, though. They were all cut. They just haven't all been harvested. So close. So close to starting to flood the area. I definitely want to get that area flooded by the end of this episode. I think we should. We still got a few minutes. To go. But once this floods, pretty much our water problems are going to be over, which is great. And there we go. How we doing? How we looking on these? It's just this last one that just needs to get those logs picked up. And now we are good to go. So we are going to delete these. We're going to delete the rubble. We're going to come in here and delete these. And then I would love to demolish this. So let's demolish that. Don't need that bridge in there anymore. I don't want anything down here that is going to look unsightly. So let's go ahead and demolish that. Get rid of that path. And I would love it if I could just delete it, but I can't. I actually have to have builders come out here and demolish it, which is rather annoying. And then let's demolish this one, highest priority. Hopefully a builder comes out here and does that. And we will delete those stairs. And now, if we go to number 1 speed, and we crank these up to, let's say, 2.8. And let's see this flood now. And it should work. This should just be a wall. At least that is my hope. And that does appear to be what's happening. So that this is just a wall. Let's bring it down to 2.75 just to be safe. And now we can actually get this water pump operational, which is great. We are going to need to open up these lumberjacks again, just because we're no longer getting our logs from over here. But this is great. This is awesome. And look at that. The invisible wall, it does work. I was correct in my assumption of the invisible wall. But that's great. And then this little overflow area, this is just so that we don't get particularly bad tides overflowing into our tree area, which can happen depending on the rate of the water flow. Can get a little bit of spillage kind of left and right, which is something that we certainly do not want. And we are pumping through this water fairly quickly, so hopefully this gets filled up rather soon and starts to overtop our floodgates. That would be excellent. But okay, so now what are we focusing on with our planks? Not these. So let's go lowest priority there. We can go medium priority actually with the builders. We'll go medium low priority with these water pumps, and then I guess we'll go medium high on these platforms. Not really sure why we need that, but kind of makes sense, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't make sense, but that's okay. Everything that we're doing these days seems to take planks, which is not great. Okay, but our water is overtopping now. It does have a fairly aggressive flow. And see, this is what I was trying to avoid. That spillover. And hopefully this should kind of equalize itself a little bit at some point. But we'll just have to see. I really don't want... Yeah, I'm really hoping that kind of settles at some point, at some level. But this is a ton of water now, and I think our water is pretty much, once we get these pumps in, I think we're pretty much going to be set as far as water goes. Okay, and this does look like it has now kind of equalized itself, which is good. The only thing that kind of isn't great about this setup is that when we have bad tides, we're going to have to empty this whole space. We're going to have to just drain the whole thing. That's not great, but it is what it is. That is a problem for another day. If you guys enjoyed this episode, definitely consider leaving a like and a comment. Remember to go back and check out some of my earlier seasons. They're a lot of fun. Back on update 5, particularly that Iron Teeth playthrough. I think that was a great one. But I hope you guys are enjoying this series. If you are, I'd love to hear any recommendations you got, as well as any other games you want me to check out. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Until then, have a great day. Thanks. Bye.